Alright, we're just getting set up, guys. Wanted to make sure that I've got everything here that I need to get going. Looks like I do. Might need to refill this. This is getting kind of low. Yep, be right back. I'm gonna go refill this. I don't know. I probably won't need to. Never mind. I'll refill it after the stream. Giving everybody a chance to see that I've gone live and jump on if they want. If not, it's okay. Plus, took me a minute to rearrange the cameras. I decided to use my Brio here just as a standard, just my standard webcam, and then I'm going to use my C22 922 here, which will be the figure camera, because I feel like this is a better picture for some reason. This should be 4 times as good as this one, but for some reason it's not. I might have to check the connection, or maybe reinstall the software, or maybe there's an update that needs to come out for it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. Got me some hot chocolate right here. I do have some orange juice sitting over here, and of course I've got some tea over there, so I'm fully stocked on liquids. Yeah, I got my brushes ready to go. My paint, I kind of rearranged my paint a little bit. Let's go ahead and get this show started. Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything, and I am coming back at you with some Wargaming Wednesday. This is our weekly live stream. Okay, this is going to bug me. I'm constantly looking over there to see what the stream's doing. Turn that off. Okay, I'm rearranging my computer the way everything is laid out. All right, so I can see the chat right there. If you were to chat with me, I could see the streaming software. I could see the actual stream up there. Okay, good. We're all set up. And hopefully you can hear me. It looks like I'm broadcasting sound. Got a couple of different things scheduled today, guys. Well, first of all, good morning, and thank you for coming and joining me at my workshop. I have 2 things that I'm working on right now. Well, actually, one thing I'm working on, and one thing I'm going to work on the stream. But this right here, I've got 2 French horse 6-pounders. They finally came in. They came in day before yesterday, something like that. Possibly day before yesterday. And let me tell you a short story about this French cannon, just to get you guys up to speed. Or maybe I could put a beanie on. Hey. Look at that, I'm Tim Pool. No, I'm not. Normally I wear this camouflage hat, and the reason why is because I've got this light up here. You can see that my hand casting a shadow. It gets in my eyes when I'm looking at the computer monitor. When I'm looking over here painting and stuff like that, there's no problem. but when I'm trying to glance over at you guys, I want to have a little shade on my eyes. Okay, so enough of that. Okay, so there's a little history. These are front rank models. About a month ago, I ordered a pack of, I ordered this pack, the 89, yeah, the French artillery number 89, which is basically their horse artillery with 6-pounders. You get 8 models and 2 guns, which is enough to do what I needed to do. So I ordered them. I got them in just a week later, and in the package was French artillery 69, not 89. I was like, okay, I could probably make these work. You know, it's okay. I'll just let them know or whatever. So when I went to look in the package, which I didn't open, I still have it closed in the cabinet over there. When I went to look in the package, there was only 7 artillerymen. I was like, okay, something's not right. First of all, it's the wrong set. And second of all, there's only 7 of them. And so now at that point, that basically was the straw that said, let them know. Maybe they can just send me an artilleryman or something. We'll make it right. Or they'll send me a shipping label for me to send these back, and they'll send me another pack. Or I don't know what I was expecting. So I sent them an email, and that very same day, I got an email back from them saying, we'll put the correct pack in the mail for you. We will send them off to you, and don't send back the other set. Mainly, they probably didn't want to have to pay for the shipping to return mail. But they understand I guess they understand, good customer service is what I'm saying. Front rank, they took care of it like same day. They went above and beyond. They made sure that I was a satisfied customer, because I spend a lot of money there, for one thing. I do spend a lot of money there. Front rank has become one of my best, when I say best, I mean top of my approval rating of which figures I like best. Front rank keeps going up. Warlord Games is up there. Perry is up there. Victrix has fallen down quite a bit, and front rank has gone up and taken their place. Okay, so they said they make it right. I was like, okay, cool. I waited. I did other projects, as you know, waiting for these to come in, because I wanted to finish my French artillery and basically just have them done, right? I guess I could be painting and talking at the same time, but I don't want to paint until I get this other project done, but I want to get this out of the way, so I'm rambling. Just bear with me. The package came in, right? It came in a couple of days ago, like I said. And I was like, okay, cool. And I looked at the label. It said 86. I was like, okay, there we go. We know it's the right pack. I looked inside the pack, and it wasn't packaged like Front Rank normally packages their stuff. I could tell there was a little bit of attention to detail. Like they made sure they double checked, basically. There was these 8 crew, these 2 guns, but then I had a little surprise in the bag. There was a 9th crew member. Didn't look like any of these guys. I took that 9th crew member and I checked it against pack 69, and he's a crew member that goes in that pack. So basically, they went way above and beyond. Not only did they just correct the mistake, but they of like which crew to get, but they also added a crew member to make that other package complete. And they didn't have to do that because I didn't order that other package. They could have just left it and said, you know, do what you want with it. But no, they said, here, have this ninth guy, this eighth crew member for that other crew, so that if you ever do need to use that crew or want that crew, you'll have a complete crew. And I was like, wow, that just blew my mind. And so I was expecting this. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so front rank, you get 2 thumbs up, and you get a customer for life. That was emotional for me. That was like, because I've contacted other companies, and if you watched my channel and you followed along, you know that I've had difficulties with different companies throughout the years. And there's always been, and customers too, believe it or not, customers and companies, just some of them yanking my chain and some of them not, you know, responding or acting appropriately. Front rank, the crew at front rank, they're probably Christians. They're very nice. They took care of it. They made it happen. And now I'm probably going to spend a lot more money there because I'm putting them, they're at the top of my list now of what figures I want to do when I need to do something. If I need to do something, it's probably going to go to front rank. All right. Now, speaking of front rank, I opened a pack last week for you guys, I think, and kind of showed you the figures of some American War of Independence Germans, and they seemed to be a little different. They kind of seemed like they were Perry models or maybe Old Glory models. But after I put them together and painted them, which I did, I finished them. They're looking good. They're on my eBay store. If you're interested in them, they're for sale, ebay.com/wargaming in miniature. Should get you something, or just once you get into eBay, just go search for Wargaming in miniature and you'll find them. But I struggled with which flag to use. I think I might have mentioned that on the stream last week, because the GMB flags that I had ordered were they're inaccurate. GMB, I love GMB. They're my top flag company, but like I would have the spec flag and it would be red and red instead of like red and black and red reversed. They're both exactly the same, and that's not good. Okay, so enough of that. Got them done, but I think, and this is just me speculating, because when I was painting them, they came out to be very, very front rank-esque. You know, like I would look at them and I'd like, oh, that guy's gut is extra large, or this guy's collar is extra big. And that's the way the normal front rank models are. Their individual details are accentuated, making them very easy to paint, and they look good on the table because of it. And I saw a little bit of that in there. I saw some skinny legs and skinny arms, but I saw some like big details, and I have a feeling that these are old molds. I'm guessing. I don't know this for a fact, but I bet you they're old molds. Like how they might have started their company with these molds and progressed to a cleaner mold later. But those did have a lot of front rank elements to them, and so They probably were front rank. They came from front rank. They didn't claim that they were anything else. But once I got them painted, they look outstanding. They look great. They really do. I have one complaint about those Germans. The standard bearer, his left hand, it's like this big, right? His right hand is like this big. You know, it's not on camera, but yeah. So like left hand this big, right hand was like this big, and I don't know, their hand sizes were not exactly the same, and it's like, whoa, that looks weird. But one guy's hand is behind his back, and the other one's holding the standard. It's hard to tell unless you really get down and look at them. But other than that, outstanding models. Hair, you know, with the ponytails all the way down to their butt, and big mustaches for Germans, and everything else. Tricorns. Yeah, they look really good. Okay, so okay, I pushed these guys off to the side because we're gonna I think I'm gonna get to painting these before the video is over. But this is my current project, is these French artillery pieces. But I said something about, and I don't know, can you see that? You can't see that. If I drag this out here, okay, you can kind of see that. I've got a tub, and this tub is full of cereal boxes, right? I've got a variety of different cereal boxes, and these cereal boxes, I have a stack of them. I've been collecting them for a month now or so, various different and miniature boxes. Okay, so I've been saving these as well. So let's put the cereal box over there. I'm going to use this box right here. I'm going to go to where the separation is, and I'm going to separate them. And it doesn't matter because we're not using anything that folds, or anything that was glued is not going to be used in this project. So don't sweat any of that. Okay. Because what you can do is just take your X-Acto knife and cut off anything that folds. Now, as you know, I'm a big recycler. I save everything from model kits. Okay, that didn't come off. Okay, there we go. I.e. like I just did some Perry infantry, actually Perry U.S. infantry. I just finished those and put them up on the store. I have a few arms and helmets and knives and rifles and stuff like that. I keep those. Okay, so I got the front and back, the main solid pieces. This is what we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with this. We're not going to be working with this. I am going to just drop those in the bin. Basically, these guys, the U.S. infantry, is the ones I just got finished working with. Okay, so let's do it again. This is something that I put off doing. And I don't know why, because it only takes a couple of minutes to do it. But like when I finish a unit, I prefer to just go ahead and jump into another unit to get started. And what I think I need to do, and I'm going to maybe start doing this, is every time I finish a unit, I'm gonna make me one of these, and that way I won't get behind. Plus, every unit that I have complete will have one of these. Now, Mr. Everything, you're saying, what are you doing? Why are you cutting this cardboard? Why are you saving it? Well, I'm about to show you. Basically, what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of minutes is creating some movement trays. Okay, that's all I need for this demonstrative purposes. Okay, we're going to make some of the movement trays. Now, I need to get an infantry unit and a cavalry unit, and I'll be right back. Now, I could go by measurements, but I don't like doing it. All right, so I got me an infantry unit, I've got my Brunswickers, and a Brunswick line unit, and I've got the French chasseurs right here. Now, looking at it, you're like, oh, okay, that's going to take that entire board. Well, not necessarily. Let's experiment a little bit. Yep, it's going to take the entire board, because that goes over the edge. Okay, that's mine. So we did 4 of them. Okay, so this doesn't really matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it close to the center, because there's not going to be enough left over for any other project anyway. So we put it inside. Now I take my marker, my pen of pens, okay. Perfect. And I don't really have to go from tip to tip. I'm really only making a side so that when I'm looking, I can see where the side is. I can extrapolate to know where the rest of the box is. Pretty simple. Okay. Now, if you were to measure 100 millimeters, right? Because from front to back, that should be 50 millimeters, and 2 ranks of calves should be 100 millimeters. If you measure 100 millimeters, you'll be doing yourself an injustice, because the flock on your bases causes imperfections when you put the base together. the flock will cause an imperfection in your base of some kind and give you an extra millimeter or two. And also, when you go to fold your sides, you want there to be just a millimeter or two extra so that the unit will fit inside the tray with no effort. Okay, so by drawing the line on the outside of a unit, and this is pretty much a typical unit, so you could pretty much do this with all of them. And then I'm going to take a straight edge and I'm going to cut a good amount. I'm going to leave a good amount. That's probably about 5 or 6 millimeters. I'm guessing about 5 or 6 millimeters. And I might have to cut that again because I didn't press very hard through it. Yeah. Really? It's giving me that much trouble? Okay. There we go. And I'm going to do, now you notice I'm doing it from this side and not this side because I want to see where that line is that I drew. Okay, this time I'll press a little harder. Still don't think it went all the way through. There we go, and then same. I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to cut this. Unit's in my way. I might have left too much on this side. This looks right. This looks like it might be just a little bit too much. But that's okay. It doesn't really matter. You're only guesstimating anyway. Okay. All right, now on this black line, right, that I drew, I'm going to score. I'm going to score it, but I'm not going to score it on the black line like I said. I'm going to move it just a little bit off of the black line, giving me just a little bit extra room. Not a whole lot. But now a score is when I drag the blade across it, but I don't cut through. I basically just give it a fold line. So now when I go to fold it, it'll be able to fold on that line. Let's go ahead and do the same here. Yep, that looks good. I'm going to do maybe just a little bit extra on this side to help shorten this. Plus, I want a little extra wiggle room inside the base anyway. Okay, so now I should have a little extra between the black line and the cut, and I should also have, okay, yeah, on the ends, this is my point, on the ends, you're going to have a fold line this way and a fold line this way. Well, you're going to take either the front or the side, doesn't matter, and you're going to take it from that intersection and completely cut it all the way out, but only on one of the two, because you're going to keep that little extra piece as a tab. There we go. So now when I fold, what's going to happen is it's going to fold at the slit, at the slot, right? But it will also on the inside tighten up. It'll become a smaller object, because once it's split and you fold it, it basically closes up. So you're going to lose that extra millimeter, and that's why you need to cut it a little, like 1 extra millimeter to the wide. To the wide, is that really a term? Okay. Okay. Everybody's seen what I'm doing. I'm using the edge of my cutting mat to help me fold this. Now, because these are tabbed, then when I go to fold the sides, I'm only folding the insides, if that makes sense. I'm not going to fold the tab. Yeah, guys, if you're watching the stream live right now, and if you want to chat, you can. I will glance at the chat from time to time. Don't expect an immediate response, but I'll try to get to it, because I'm more concerned with what I'm doing here than what's going on my screen. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but I've got it folded up, and I've got these little tabs sticking out, right? Okay. So what I like to do is put the tabs on the inside. To help disguise them. You could do it outside, inside, doesn't matter. It's a movement tray. Okay, so I put them on the inside. I make sure the sides are folded up properly. Make sure that these, and I overfold usually to make sure, because cardboard's like this, and when you fold it straight up, it'll want to just kind of lean back. So what I do is I overfold it a little bit, so when it leans back, it leans straight up and down. Okay. So far so good, right guys? All right. So now inside each of these tabs, I put a little bit of white glue. Maybe that's more than a little bit, but okay, it doesn't matter. And you notice I'm not pressing them together. Giving the glue a bit of an opportunity to what's the word? Not soak, but permeate into the cardstock. Okay. Also, sometimes it's better to put this on the outside and put this on the inside, because I do believe that the paint or the ink, the surface on this will prevent glue from adhering as good as it does on this side. This side, the glue adheres a lot better. But when it comes to moving it around on the table, this side's going to get a lot of wear and tear, and this side won't, because the figures will just be sitting motionless inside. So if any of your painting or whatever you do to the surface of your cardstock gets rubbed off, you don't want to see this. I don't know if that makes sense, but it did. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll put rubber bands to hold the four corners together. So I won't have to sit here and hold it for an hour. Now, I've seen some people will use like super glue so they don't have to hold it at all. Okay, there we go. Now I'm trusting that I cut enough that that one doesn't want to stay. All right. Now, you could also use push pins to pin them in place. You just put the pin in at an angle, and it will keep the paper from coming apart, because the push pin is at an angle like that, so it can't pull apart without, it would have to pull apart like this, and it's not designed that way. And then once everything's dry, you just pull the push pin out, and voila. Well, my push pins are, I could probably get to them. I could probably get to them. But these guys look like they're drying pretty good. It just takes a little bit of come up to them, squeeze them together, give them a little bit of love, a little bit of touch magic. Okay, make sure that this is flat, because sometimes when you put it together, you'll put it together warped at an angle, and if it's warped at an angle, it won't lay flat on the table, of course. So now, with you using your straight edge, following the width of your unit, there should be no warping, because the two sides should be parallel. It warps if one side is not parallel. Well, I guess if one side's not parallel, both sides would not be parallel, right? Yeah. So you can't have a half parallel or half not parallel. Okay, we're going to let that dry just for a minute. Now I could put the unit in there and let it dry. I will actually do that. But while there's a little bit of wet Elmer's in the corners, I don't want to put my unit in there and then have it permanently inside this this thing. Okay. So let's grab the other half of this box. while that's doing its thing over here. And we're going to do some infantry. Now this one, I think, because of the scale of the infantry bases, okay, I got to get my magnet straight. Okay. I think I should, yes, I'll definitely be able to get 2 units per side of box this way. Yeah, I can see gaps between the bases. The flock and stuff like that keeps the bases from being perfect. But that's okay, because that's why you measure it this way, so that you get a little extra flexibility on them. Okay, so there's 1 unit. That looks good. Now these guys being metal models, I don't have to hold them down as much as I did the cavalry. Maybe I do. I don't know. Okay. Okay, so you should be able to get 2 infantry trays out of one side of your miniature card box, right? Okay. So we're going to cut about the same width as that is over here on this side. Which I'm trying to do about 6 millimeters. And it's just a guesstimate. Again, it's not rocket science. All right. We do, okay, and then we do the end about the same. I knew it. This ruler doesn't have enough grip because there's not enough cardboard on the end. So what I'll do is I'll do it twice. There we go. All right. Now we're going to cut the fold lines. And we're going to do it not on the black, but just a little bit past the black to give it a little extra wiggle room. Yep, that's about a millimeter. Okay, that's looking good, my friends. Doing pretty good. Just doing some scoring so that when I fold it, it'll fold on a straight line. Okay, and then we cut the tab. That side looks awful big. You know what? We're going to fix that. Get rid of that. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to make some tabs. Hear the mailman going by. I am expecting a Warlord Games order to come in any day now. Sounds like he's going in the other direction. Which is true. Normally around this time he's driving the other way, and then an hour or so he'll be coming back my way. Okay, so we got that one cut. What I'd like to do is actually cut this one before I start gluing and fold. Now let's glue and fold this one. Let's glue and fold it. And then by the time I get done with that one, this one should be dry. Overfold, okay, as you all know. Here we go. All right. Welcome to the stream, guys. We try to do this every Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. Central Time, or noon, I guess. It'll be noon Eastern. On Wednesdays, what we do is touch on a variety of different subjects revolving around miniatures. Miniature wargaming, either terrain or painting or flocking, rule sets. Maybe we'll go into some rule sets in some future videos. Okay, so let's tuck the tabs. Tuck the tabs. Okay. Get some PVA, or white Elmers, as I like to call it. Put a little glue on the tabs. Okay. I probably should go see if I've got my needles in an easy to access spot, because if I do, it'll show you the push pins that I'm talking about. Needles. Nope, not a drug addict. Okay. It might show you how much easier it is with those, even though that's pretty much already done. If you apply some tight pressure, like you're squeezing it, it actually sticks together better. Or I should say faster. It dries faster for some reason. I don't know why. Just squeeze it together, give it a 10 count. Yeah, this is the old box. I just did a new box last night. Actually finished them up last night, put them on eBay. So if you're interested in some Perry U.S. Infantry, I've got them on there. On my store. eBay, Wargaming and Miniatures. Or Wargaming and Miniature. Oh, that one's coming apart. Oh no. I must have scored the tab a little bit too much. Okay, we're going to fix that. Yep, that actually came separated. Okay, see this little piece right here? I know it's crazy, right? I had a little piece. Perfect. I'm going to score the center of it. Perfect. Do everything in my power to fold it down that center line that I just created. There we go. Put a little glue on the outside. Yep. And then this is going to be a corner patch. Okay. Okay, I think that corner patch is too small. Yep. All right. We're going to make a crazy big corner patch. Okay. Yeah, we'll do it this way. There we go. There's a patch for you. There we go. That corner's not coming apart. Okay. Okay, these corners all look good. Okay, I'm going to slide him just on the inside of this one. By the time I get this one finished, that first cavalry one should be dry. I would suspect. I could be wrong, but that's what I would suspect. And then once we get these done, I'll show you what I do to finish them. There, I learned my lesson. I didn't cut that one all the way through. Yeah. Okay, but we got to shrink it down to a manageable width. All right. A little bit extra. Score. And then the height of your side, whatever you want that to be. The height of my sides, I go with about 4 millimeters. I make it bigger than the base. The bases are 3. You could go smaller. You could go 1 or 2. and then it would like only cover the base and not stick up on the sides of it. Score. Trim. Score. Trim. Okay, I think every side is scored. All right. So now we'll cut out 1/2 of every tab. Okay, these tabs. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. Good. Now it's good. Okay. You fold away from the score, not towards it. It allows the card stock to fold. I don't know if you guys have been following my Scourge of War series. I'm getting ready to move into the Allied side of Waterloo. Right now, I'm just finished the French side. Yeah, I almost started it last night, but I knew I needed to get up in time for this and get set up for this, so I didn't start it last night. Okay, tabs fold inward. And you can, if you want, you could glue your tabs on the outside or the inside. It doesn't matter. I glue mine on the inside. One thing, it disguises the tab. Plus, I think it makes the tab press against the outer side, giving more of a chance to stick. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I said it anyway. Okay, I'm going to let that permeate a little bit before I start pressing. Want it to get into the card stock itself. While that's doing that, excuse me. And you don't need to do this for artillery because there's so few bases. You got one artillery base, and if you throw a limber out there, then you'd have your second base, which is a limber. There's no need for any kind of large movement tray for that. If you mount your artillery, if you don't mount your artillery and you use your crew separately, then it could be beneficial to have a movement tray for your artillery. But if you're thinking of doing that, then why not just mount them onto an artillery base? Okay, let's squeeze and get rid of the excess, right? Squeeze, get rid of the excess. And that's what we're doing on all 4 sides. Actually, all 4 corners here. Squeeze. Get rid of the excess. Okay. You got to clean your fingers as you do this because your fingers will stick. I mean, it's only Elmer's and it's no big deal. It peels off super fast, super easy. But if it sticks, it'll want to peel the pieces that you have gluing together. It'll make them want to separate. And you don't want that. You want togetherness. Okay, so I'm doing this one, and I didn't go find my needles. Pins. Sorry, I keep saying needles. Pin needles. Hey, how about that? I don't know. That one's good. I think that one's good, too. I think they're all good. I think they're all kind of sticking the way they're supposed to. And if there is a slight outward lean, that's okay, too. Because it'll make it easier for your figures to slide down inside the base compartment. Okay, that's flat. That's good. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Yep, I pulled on it and became separated. Okay, we're going to let that sit. We're going to let this infantry one sit. We're going to double check my work before I go to the next step. Whoa, 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 whoa. This one's pretty much perfect. Yeah, best one I've ever done. Okay, so I'm going to push this guy all the way forward and to the left corner. And you can see that there is a little bit of wiggle room in there. That's perfect. That's good. You want that. You want a little bit of wiggle room. And I'm going to push this all the way to the left, which it is. There's just a slight right and left little bit of wiggle room as well. So basically it gives me about 1 millimeter or 2 all the way around. The lip is probably a little big because it comes up over the base. That's okay. I can always trim that down later in a future, you know, just cut off sides if I wanted to do that. Okay. That looks good. Now, because of the way the bases are made or shaped or sized in this case, you're getting 2 bases deep, right? Okay, 2 bases deep. If you're using your standard 40 millimeter or 50 millimeter base sizes, you could actually put this into a column like this with 2 bases side by side as well. And then you would have, you know, your 3 base depth. So you could actually do 6 bases that way. You could do these 2 figures, those 2 figures, these 2 figures, those 2, all the way down. And this base size this movement tray will work great for that. But if I was putting these guys in any kind of march column with the size of base that I'm using, I don't think I need a movement tray. And I'm not going to make a separate movement tray for that length. Also, if you're putting them in a line, a straight, a single file line, that's just going to be so big as well that you're not going to be able to use a movement tray in that case either. The only time with my cav that I'll be able to use a movement tray is if they're moving in this formation. And then infantry, it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, this one is dry. We'll move on to the next step here in just a second. All right, this one should be, well, it looks wet still. Maybe this is the one that looks dry. Okay, it looks dry. Okay, so okay, front to back fits pretty good. Left to right fits pretty good. Oh, look at that, magnets. Okay, that one's magnetized as well. Okay, so with everybody pushed all the way to the front corner here, you've got a little bit of wiggle. Not much, but there is a little bit there. And then front to back, there is a little bit. And that's what you want. You want a little bit of wiggle room, but not a crazy amount. And then that would be your, and that's a good height for the movement tray. Okay. Now, with it being formed in attack column like this, you could actually, because these are mounted the way they're supposed to be mounted, I can actually put them into a march column. By turning them, and the movement tray doesn't have to, I can use the same movement tray. Now, there is this march column as well, and in that case, I would not use a movement tray. Okay, so the next step in this process is I'm going to paint them. Now I paint them by spray painting them. You do not need to paint the bottom. The bottom is going to sit on the table and you'll never see it. You do need to paint the sides and the inside because if you have it sitting on the side of the table, you want it to be kind of undescriptive. Hey John, man, what's up? What a nice buddy, like the trays. I cut here and fold and free. I cut here and fold and free. Sweet. Plus all my 1/72 boxes I saved can use them. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I say, I saved my boxes with this in mind. Plus, sometimes I'll want to do like buildings or something like that. Okay, but I have to go do this outside. I don't do any spraying because I'm using just your standard Krylon or Rust-Oleum spray paint. I'm going to spray them outside. It'll take me 2 seconds and then I'll be right back. So everybody take like a 5-minute break and I'll be right back. That orange juice. Okay, yeah, I'll be back in just like less than 5 minutes. Oh, this lid doesn't want to come off. Dang, okay. Okay, that's why it gives you that screwdriver thing. This is the first time I've opened this spray can. Oh, man. Yikes. Hey, look at that. I found that head I was looking for. Okay. So... be right back. Alright, I don't know if you guys can hear me over there, but I got them sprayed. Now they're sitting outside. I'm going to let them sit outside for about 10 minutes while they dry. But they probably won't even take that long. It's super hot outside, and paint on cardboard tends to dry faster than on a model. Now, just so you know, I'm going to just go ahead and show you on camera. This is what I'm using. I decided to use, it's Magic. It's camouflage spray paint, oil base, flat finish, olive drab. That's what I decided to use. Okay, we're not going to do these today because I wanted to start getting in on my French artillery. I'm going to grab just some other unit. Yeah, let's grab this unit right here. Totally separate infantry unit. I grabbed a French infantry unit, and we're going to test to see if it also fits inside the movement tray, which I know I suspect it will, but and those skirmishers I mounted individually for some reason back in the day. Okay, so we'll get all these guys in their movement trays, and then we'll put them up on the shelf. All right, so I've got a little bit of a dilemma with my French artillery. Not a huge dilemma. I mean, it's nothing I can't work through with the internet. But these uniforms that these models have are not exactly what's being depicted by my color plates for French horse artillery. These guys have hussar jackets, and you know the lace breastplate and the extra wide cummerbund belt, plus they have the extra tall plumes, you know, which my color plate shows them wearing coatees, so the coats just go down to their belt, and they have a tail. I think they have a tail. I could be wrong. Let's double check that. Uniforms, Franchi, Horsey, 2nd Company, 4th Artillery Regiment. Uniformans. Yeah, they've got like a coat tail. Very much like foot artillery. Plus, they have epaulets. These guys do not have epaulets and are dressed more like hussars, which I always thought that this was accurate. So what I'm going to do is what we're going to do now is we're going to, where is my, there it is. I'm looking past the camera here. I've got this camera sitting right in front of my middle monitor. French horse artillery uniform engines. Okay, they're not guard horse, which we obviously know that. Okay, hat has them in coatees as well. But everyone that references this uniform is showing those miniatures, and that's... Okay. Okay, so I'm going to have to go to the papers. The internet failed me. Okay, I'm bringing up a Funkin' book. Okay, Gunner Horse Artillery 1806 shows the Hussar style uniform. But 1812, they do show the coatees and the epaulets. I don't know. Okay, this guy doesn't have the coatee and epaulet. Okay, hold on. Yeah, he looks right. Number 4, who is he? 1810. Okay, but none of that showed Waterloo specifically. Okay, now I got Uniforms of Waterloo by Philip E. Thornthwaite. Okay. Let's take a look here. Britain, Brunswick, Hanover, Netherlands, France. It's all guard. Guard. Marines. Cuirassier and Dragoons. Lancers, Hussars. Horse Artillery. Yeah, epaulets and coatees. Okay, these are coatees, but I don't see any epaulets. Except the officer. Okay, well, these uniforms must be 1810 then. But they definitely look like horse artillery. So that's what I'll paint them up as. Alright guys, we're going to give this just a few more minutes to dry. I'm looking at a plate right now that shows these uniforms. And it says Artillerie Cheval 1807 through 1814. Interesting. Talavera. I want to show you that plate. Rosolot plates. Hand colored Rosolot plates. Okay, I don't know what that is. $1809. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not Waterloo. Looks like they ditched the hussar jackets and went with more of a standard French line style uniform. Yeah, so it looks like I might have to redo these in the future. Yeah, 1804 to 1808. 1805 to 1808. Yep. These are the wrong guys. Damn it. Damn it. Yeah, I'm looking at a black powder French line horse artillery set, and it shows exactly what I need. The coatees, the short pom-poms, the epaulets, not the hussar jackets. Okay, so these are 1808 or 1809. I can do them and I can use them and they'll definitely look like horse artillery, but they won't be correct. And so I'm still going to need to get 2 French line horse artillery units eventually. This is exactly what I ordered, though. This is what I ordered, and not, I didn't, so that's not a mix-up by the company. That's a mix-up by me, apparently picking the wrong unit to order. So I was hoping that maybe this incorrect artillery, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I don't think it's going to be correct either. This is pack 69. Okay, these guys have long coats. That's what, early war, maybe? Yeah, long coat. Backpack, cross belts. It has the elite swords and everything, just doesn't have the well, he does sort of have an epaulet. Let's put my eyes on. Nope, no epaulet. Nope. There's the officer, and he's got 1 epaulet. Yeah, these aren't the right guys either. They got the right pom-poms, and they've got, but they have long coatees. I need short coatees. Short coats. Well, damn. I might be ordering some Perry or some Warlord, or scrutinizing the front rank a little closer next time I order. Now I'm disheartened and I don't want to finish these guys. Well, I could do this. I could finish them. Say they are anachronistic. No, you know, stand-ins until I get the accurate. Until I get the accurate artillery in. Yep, I guess that's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and finish them, and then just use them as stand-ins until I actually get the correct artillery. I thought I was going to be good to go. Man, upset. Okay. We got these movement trays. Okay. You can still smell it, so that means they're not dry yet, but that's okay. We're going to put our horsies in there. See, that tray kind of disappears. It's going to blend in with the table. We already know. Yep. Now, just so you guys know, you know that I've got those magnets, the new magnets, right? Well, I haven't had a chance to put them to use yet. I haven't put a unit together where I needed to make skirmisher bases. I'm going to make the base actually a magnet and magnets on the bottoms of the figures. So it'll be magnet on magnet. Okay, so we knew those guys were going to fit because that's how I measured these. But let's see how this goes. Yeah, those fit as well. Okay. Not as much of a wiggle room, but there is still just a little bit of wiggle room. Okay. Movement trays. So you got your French battalion, you just move it out. You know, you do your measuring and you move it. You know, if you need to wheel, you know, you can wheel from a corner or whatever you need to do. These guys just shift around, move around. Quick and easy movement trays. And this is something I've been thinking about doing, guys, is every time I do a unit, do its movement tray at that time, and that way the movement trays don't fall behind. Because right now I think I need to do like 40 plus movement trays. I used to use, if you remember the old Games Workshop movement trays, the ones that, you know, you moved your orcs and elves and stuff like that around on the table. I have a bunch of those, and I went hog heaven on those guys. I flocked them so that they look, you know, just like the base and everything. But I regret doing that. Just throwing this out there. There's no need to do that. Paint them a neutral color and just leave it at that. They were bright green, but I could have just painted it like an OD green or black or a dark gray or something like that. The reason why I don't like the flock, it made the Games Workshop bases fit in there super tight, which is good. That way the unit doesn't move around or do whatever. But if there was any discrepancy at all on your base or anything, you couldn't get it to fit. And those things had these hard plastic lips, so that when you put a figure in, if it didn't fit down inside that lip, it would sit up on the top, and it would like sit at an angle kind of like that, right? And it just doesn't look right. The backside is open, which I thought was pretty cool, because then I could take one base this way and another base this way, and you could make a giant size movement tray. It would just be 2 trays. You can actually do that with these bases as well if you want to not do the backside, but I don't recommend doing that, because what's kind of cool about having a lip like this, you can actually put a label on your movement tray. If you wanted to do that, you could say French 1st Light Regiment or something like that right there. Or you could give it its stats. You could say shooting and melee and stamina and stuff like that on there if you wanted to do that. And that way you wouldn't have to constantly look it up in the book or on a sheet somewhere. You do have to make different size movement trays for like your large infantry. You'll also need to make some for your small infantry. Or you could just make a bunch of these, because small infantry have so few bases that they don't need a movement tray. But the large ones, I would make a few movement trays for your large infantry, just because they have extra bases. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna call it short today. I'm gonna call it here. What time is it anyway? It's 12:43. We're gonna call it short right here, because I've got something I've got to go do real quick, and I don't want to have you guys sitting here waiting for me to come back just to close out the video. So we'll just go ahead and close it out now. I'm upset, okay? Just as a recap, I'm upset at myself for not paying closer attention to the uniforms for these artillery gunners. Damn. You know what I might do? I might just paint these up and put them on eBay. Put them out there as 1809, 1808 French horse artillery, which is exactly what they are. I just need some 1815 horse artillery. But do I need to be so anal? Can I just paint them up as 1808 and then just use them in Waterloo? I could do that. It saved me a dime. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think if I sell them, then I can just turn around and buy the right ones. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to paint them up, and I'm going to keep them unless I sell them. that's the commitment I'm going to give to you today. I'm going to keep them. They're going to be set up. It's going to go towards my Quatre Bras and my Waterloo forces. And then if I get the itch, if I get like this hankering to actually get some more French horse artillery and paint them up, and then I'll swap these out and sell them. That's probably what I'll do. I've got so many other French line infantry to do, cavalry. I've got British infantry to do, Belgians, Nassau. I've got the KGL horse artillery, which should be coming in any day now. I think I should. Oh, wait, I actually, speaking of which, I think I've already got them in. I did get them in. My Perry order I've already received. I've got some horse. I got some Lancers, and I got that KGL horse artillery. I'm not sure what else I've got in that pack, but I did get my Perry order in the other day. Okay, so the only order I'm looking at really right now is my Warlord, and it's kind of small. But I'm getting ready to place an order in for Warlord for the store. And if you have anything that you want me to order and put together for you, just post it in the comments, and I'll see what I can do about adding it to the order, because I'm going to be placing that order either today or tomorrow. Probably today. Probably tonight before I go to bed. Alright guys, thanks for coming out and checking out this video, and I will see you next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Central Time.